Now, when we talk about stress, I noticed that there are various categories of stress. I mean, there are forms of stress that are self-imposed. I mean, that is what we find in the social media today because of information overload and what you have now, the pressure to fit in. You know, all these things are forms of stress that we self-impose on ourselves. And then we also have certain types of stress that comes because of our natural environment. That's it. It comes because of our natural environment. For example, it could be the environmental triggers, such as workplace stress. It could also be economic triggers. And then we could also look at health, triggers of stress. We also have relationship triggers of stress. And so for us to know the role and the power of laughter within the context of stress, it is very important that we place it within a proper context. So for example, if it is related to self-induced stress, like always on social media, and then trying to, have this information overload and then trying to fit in, I mean, a change in behavior can handle that. But here is the case, you wake up in the morning, your bills are piling up economically, you have fees to pay. Mm-hmm. I mean, when these challenges start popping up, God has made the body in such a way that anytime you encounter a threatening or a situation that is very challenging, the body naturally releases stress hormones to either fight it or to run away. Okay, so I mean, there are some of the issues you cannot run away, you have to deal with it. For instance, as I stated, we all know that, I mean, in our part of the world, economy is, the economic environment presents us with, high levels of stress. We have bills to pay in terms of accommodation. We need to pay our medical bills. We need to pay electricity bills. I mean, we have to get all these things going. It presents us with stress. Now go to the workplace, overload of work. People are struggling in the workplace because they have a lot of things to deal with. They have overload of work. We also have the youth trying to find job. They are not getting it. Stressful situation. So now the question is, how does humor, come in when it comes to all these things? And that's why I said you need to understand stress in each of these contexts. So if it has to be with economics, if it has to be with relationship, it has to be with health, then you should use humor as a tool to solve them. It's not just about jumping on social media and laughing and just laughing because you think that when you laugh, the triggers of those stress will go. It's not going to go. But we are trying to let our audience understand that in times of these stressful situations, humor is a tool that gets you started in the process of solving the trigger. Oh, it's not just laughing. I mean, you can't laugh your way through stress. You can't laugh your way, and solve problems. But it's a starter. Like you rightly said, once you are exposed to stress, the body naturally triggers the stress hormones. In a short term, that is to help you to deal with it. But when you have the ability to create a sense of humor around the problem, then you also fire the good hormones to calm the stress hormones. And that is a starting point. Okay. And that is a starting point. That is where you now go through what we call the emotional reset. You set your emotions, your mind become relaxed, and now you are set to find solutions.